right, now, right along, next we're going to be bringing up Ian Rosen, the CEO of StockTwits. Ian will be interviewed by Benzinga CEO Jason Resnick. You guys put your hands together for these guys.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's hear it for our host. What do you guys say about her? She's awesome. Yes, working hard.
I think she called me Ian.
Well, because you know what? Ian Ziering. Right. She's a celebrity. So she's a no, she's a celebrity on the shows, and we met her in Detroit. I don't know if any of you guys visit Detroit, but you should. A lot of action going on there. Detroit is the next New York.
I love Detroit.
Yeah, see, there you go. All right, we got definitely a special one right now. StockTwits CEO Ian Rosen, who I've known for many years. He was back in the day, weren't you at like Goldman for like a New York Minute?
New York Minute.
Yeah, Goldman, New York Minute, then Dow Jones, Factiva, then MarketWatch was longer than New York Minute, I would say. Yep. And then to StockTwits, right? For that, or no, there was something in between. Yes, there was. Even, as we talked about, Phil, he's a co-founder of Even Financial. So Ian gets to participate in two sweet fintech companies. He doesn't have to just be at the two of them. He gets to be at one and be a passive guy in another one. It makes his life, you know, wouldn't we all want this day and age, you know?
My life's very easy.
His life's very easy. So
that was facetious.
So, so the first question: how did StockTwits manage to get such a handsome CEO?
It was tough. It was a big passion.
But I mean, seriously, what brought you to StockTwits? StockTwits has been around. You give the history and why you got involved, I guess.
So StockTwits is the largest social network for investing and trading. We have over 2 million members. Primarily young, 18 to 34. I think 80 or 85% of our community is under 40. And it's people who are spending time talking about investing and trading in companies and markets all day. Our average users spend almost an hour a day time on site. They're very, very engaged. And back when I was GM of MarketWatch, I was a big fan of StockTwits. I used to think that StockTwits had everything that a media company would want, this large, organically growing, highly engaged community. But I also felt like there was a big opportunity that wasn't being taken. And the founder of StockTwits was one of my investors in Even Financial. And when I
Howard Lindzen,
yeah. Okay. People know Howard, he's hilarious. And a great investor. And
great Twitter follower.
Great Twitter follower. When I was looking to get back to media, he asked me, and he said, look, the board is looking for someone to take over, and said, you've been complaining for a long time, maybe you can put your money where your mouth is, or put your mouth where our money is, or whatever, and we did it.
Yeah, and that was how many years ago?
Almost 4 years ago. So
there's a lot of financial websites, but social networks. How have you been able to make, or how is the StockTwits community? Like who is a StockTwits user? That's the first question.
So our community are on the site for two reasons, and those two reasons have been consistent for almost the entire 11 years that we've been in existence. And those two reasons are, one, to have fun. It's simply a fun place. If you enjoy markets and companies and the ups and downs and the stories that come out of financial services, this is the place where you go to either celebrate the wins or commiserate the losses or talk to other people who are in those. That's number one. And number two, which is almost more important, certainly more socially valuable, is to learn from each other. Our community learns how to become better investors from each other. And if you look at the younger generation, not the younger, but all of our generation, how do we learn anything? How do we decide on anything? We do it through social, and we do it through discovery. What are our friends doing? What are the smartest people doing? How do I learn back and forth from people? And that's what people do on StockTwits all day long. For, like I said, active users, almost an hour a day. Half of our community spend almost every trading day on the site. So it's pretty engaged.
It's one of the most engaged communities. People have their StockTwits profiles everywhere. If you look at someone on Twitter, you're bound to see their StockTwits link, because I mean, what I find, it's more curated, and it's not all that stuff like, I don't know, I may tweet, like at the Michigan game, I may send a photo to be on this big screen. And you don't get that noise on the StockTwits thing. So to me, it's like a curated thing on the stocks that sort of I'm interested in. So I'm a big Tesla guy, and I go to that community because I don't have the noise of like right? I mean, is that
Right.
one of the?
So we're not curated, but we are moderated, meaning that, you know, if you look on social finance like Twitter or the old Yahoo message boards or whatever, there's a lot of bad actors, there's a lot of noise, there's a lot of just junk and sometimes illegal activity going on. StockTwits was created in '08, in the depth of the financial crisis, during the onset of social finance, for that reason, to say we're a safe place where you can engage with your peers without fear of those bad actors. And we have a community, well, first of all, we have a lot of software that just kicks off the bots and things like that, although they're constantly onslaught to us. And then we have a community that polices itself, and they will report people that are acting, you know, trying to pump and dump or trying to, you know, just behave badly or just create, you know, unhealthy or just difficult environments. And then lastly, we have a community team that will sort of dive into conversations and say, hey guys, you know, let's take it a different way. But we kick off, I think, 40,000 accounts a month, which is a lot, obviously.
Wow, are you doing that automatically, or is it?
A lot of
Phil
it's
Pearlman
automatic.
just like boom?
Yeah, Phil's ruthless. I don't know if Phil's here, but
See, Phil's here.
Phil will
there
kick
he
you
goes.
off. But yeah, we have a lot of software, and then we have a lot of ruthless community managers who keep the conversation healthy with an iron fist.
No, you need it because you get the fakes out there. You don't know what's real.
But that's why people come, because they feel like they can talk to people and they can build real relationships that then translate to our in-person events. We have 170 in-person events in 38 cities around the country a year. I mean, all this community is a real life group of people, not like, you know, just the bullshit you get on Twitter where, you know, you don't know who's saying what.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the reasons that drew you to StockTwits. You saw this community.
I love it.
Yeah, and so now this.
I was at 4 Stocktoberfest before I was CEO.
That's true. That's true. Yeah. So this event is about fintech in the future. And one of the things is we have companies that enable banking, from Q2 to Green Dot, you know, Yodlee, who does authorizations. And so one of the things that StockTwits recently launched is Trade App. Why'd you decide to launch your own brokerage?
So in brokerage, but really in all of financial services and probably in all products, everything's getting easier to create. It's getting easier to create, it's getting easier to connect. With the move to commission-free, with most of the brokerages, everything is easy to do. That doesn't mean that it's done well, and it doesn't mean that it's done in the best interests of the community out there. So we would look at all of these products and services and companies that were delivering brokerage services, which is that is what our community does. They trade, they invest in companies. The next thing they do after talking on StockTwits is buy and sell stocks. And we were seeing companies that were basically giving extremely sophisticated tools for, quote, free to anyone, and not really giving any reason to use them or education on how to use them. And it's the equivalent of, you know, just handing off a flamethrower to, like, you know, an 8-year-old and saying, hey, good luck, have fun. And we feel that we can do a better job in terms of engaging our community, who we know well, we've been with for years and years and years. It grows 40% a year. We have almost 2 million people every single month that show up on StockTwits that have never been on any of our platforms before. Wow. And we feel a responsibility to create products and tools that will help them become better investors.
Yeah, it's crazy. I see how many alerts we get from new StockTwits followers. I finally had to put it to my folder that automated, because there was so many each day. The engagement is enormous. And you also,
We're grateful to the partnership we have with Benzinga.
Wait, but StockTwits Trade App is also a list maker. They won an award for investing for beginners. If you go to the interface, you download the app, you'll see how it works, and it's very simple. And there's some cool social. Like, what's your vision for the brokerage, I guess?
So I mean, for the brokerage is, I think, almost table stakes. Like, we want people to be able to easily and without any friction buy and sell their first stocks and stocks beyond that. And we've done some things to make that easier. First of all, we have fractional trading, which means that, you know, the average account for younger people who are just getting started in investing might be $1,000 or $500 or less. So you can't buy a share of Amazon, it's $2,000. But if you want to buy $50 worth of Amazon, so you're not priced out of the kinds of companies that you know about and care about, you can do that on StockTwits. You can buy in fractions. Second of all, we know that the way people engage with StockTwits and with a brokerage is to share what they're doing, positive and negative. They're learning from each other, and they want to know that something can happen that is not BS, it's actually happening. So we have a feature called Tradecasting, where you're able to share the stories of what you're doing with an investment and put little videos and markups on it, and you're friends and followers and other people can watch them and vice versa. You can learn from I can see what Jason Raznick, what are you up to today? And watch how you move through investments.
Yeah, and then you'll get a really good portfolio then, right?
That's right. That's how I pay for this whole effort.
Exactly. No, Benzinga works with StockTwits, and it's been a great long-term partnership. Where do you see the trade app in this world of commission-free? I know you wrote a blog post about it recently, which I thought was good, but can you?
So I wrote a blog post in anger, which are the best blog posts. And now that we have a compliance department, I neglected to share it with them, which I severely regret and will never do again. But the net of it is that commissions were never the point.
We need a compliance department at Benzinga, then I'll stop with my crazy messages.
I'll introduce you to Dana Maurer. She's
Nicole
fantastic.
would love that. Okay, go ahead, sorry.
But I think commissions were never the point. The idea that you would even have commissions is kind of silly. Like it's like when you used to pay for text messages. Like it's just not. Commission free is not the point. The point is that it is easier than ever to be able to buy and sell things. Yes, buying and selling stocks should not involve a transaction fee because that limits your ability to learn how to do things. The point is how can we or other companies engage the community and the user with their attention? What's interesting? What's going to keep people wanting to learn how to do something that many people, especially who aren't like investors or naturally affiliated to it, think is either hard or boring or both. And we believe that we can create the kind of attention that we have in StockTwits and bring that to brokers in a fun way.
Yep, absolutely. And if you haven't checked it out, which I'm sure most of you have, or you have a StockTwits name, mine's Jason Raznick, but it's hard to spell. But
jump on.
Yeah, jump on. Thank you, Ian. And if you have any questions, Ian will be around here, and there's other members of the StockTwits team. You can see him outside, and that's it. Thanks.
Thank you very much.